Welcome to Precious Gems with April Falcon, where it's all about empowering women to shine bright with faith-based plays to coach you off the sidelines and into success in your career and life. And now with her playbook, full of over 20 years of experience as a leader, preacher, and mentor in hand, to share business strategies with a sprinkle of inspiration, is your confidant, your sister friend, your coach, April Falcon.
Hello, Kenyatta. Welcome to Precious Gems with April Falcon. I'm so excited to have you as my special guest on tonight. And the women are in for a treat on tonight, not to mention the men who will be ear hustling, because we'll be dropping gems that will benefit everyone, whether it's a woman or a man. Of course, our focus is on women, but the men will be blessed as well. Can you get excited?
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. So what I'm going to do is jump right in, and I'm going to just highlight your bio. You have a wonderful, accomplished bio. And so what I'll do is just highlight a few points, and then as we talk and unpack everything, you can hit some high notes of that. Does that sound good?
Sounds good. Sounds good.
All righty. So I definitely want the women to know that you are a top executive. You work for the Maryland Department of Human Services, and there you have the position of the Chief Information Officer, which is major, I may say. And then you've been with the Maryland Department of Human Services for over 20 years, which is also amazing. In addition to that, you are the founder of A Taste of Technology, which you'll be able to share about that as we drop gems, and to include a special event that you have coming up on this month that some of the listeners will be able to participate in. Additionally, you're on some advisory boards, which is excellent as well. You are a mentor to other women and young girls. And in addition to that, you are a wife, a new bride still. I guess you can still carry that card for a minute. Can you get excited? And then you are a proud mom. So, so again, you have an accomplished background, which is definitely why I wanted to bring you on to Precious Gems. So with that, we'll go ahead and transition, and I'll ask you to share about yourself, to include, your career and what led you to create A Taste of Technology.
All right. Well, thank you again for having me. And I am just honored and pleased to be a part of the Precious Gems.
Yes.
As you stated, I've been in the Maryland Department of Human Services for over 20. And that is the extent of my IT career. So being in IT for over 20 is actually almost 25 now, and I think about it.
Wow, that's a long time.
Yes, it is. But I have to say, in starting in this technology field and being the first African American CIO for the Department of Human Services, it equally had its challenges, and it's been equally rewarding, right? So,
yeah.
And it's important to me to like what you do. It's important to love what you do.
Yeah, right? That's good.
Go to work every day and still being able to like your job. And I just adore the people that I work with. So that's always been,
that's huge. Everyone can't say that.
That is huge. So being in IT, as a woman, and growing up, that's pretty much really have been my career, and growing up in IT throughout the years. I started as an engineer, as the junior engineer, and as being the first, I would say at that time I was the only Black female. And I always felt like I had to walk the walk and talk the talk, right? I had to talk properly. I had to represent.
Yes, I know exactly what you mean.
We were represented well.
Yes.
And I guess that did pay off, because throughout my career, I received promotion after promotion, and it has really helped me throughout the years. But again, really helped to liking what I do.
Yeah.
And finding what I liked and moving forward within it. And then again,
Yeah.
working with great people. But, I found that each position that I was in, it kind of helped me in the next position. You have people that say that you can't just start at
Like
the
a
top.
building block. Yeah.
I could not have made it to CIO now without, I'm going to say, most of those positions being able to help me get there. There's no way I
Right.
could go from a junior engineer to a CIO.
Right. Right.
But it really helped me, and it helped me with my staff as well, because I kind of know what they're going through. I know what they've been through, what they're going
Yeah, that's
through.
true.
Myself,
Which gives you credibility in your job as well.
Yes. So again, being a female in this IT industry, you find that how it's not very many of us, right? Not many of us sitting at the table. There's not many of us sitting in the lab
At all.
At all.
Not
So
in
that
my
really-
corporate America world.
Yes. So it really kind of prompted me in seeing that, in being able to help others, right? How can I encourage others to be a part of this? IT industry is growing every day.
Yes.
That you can actually think of today, it revolves around some level of technology.
Yes.
So and the positions are increasing more than we have people trained enough to take the position.
Very true. Yes.
We get part of this, right? How can we get our, seat at the table?
Exactly.
So let me reach out. Let me go to different conferences. And then I started speaking at different conferences. I started mentoring. And so it has been a pleasure being able to talk to people and hear from people and try to encourage and inspire them along the way. And so I attended a volunteer program several years ago, actually. And it was I think we call it Computer Ed Week or something like that. And I was in one of the Baltimore City schools, and the kids loved it. We were teaching them how to code. So we were there all week and going in every day and how to code, and they loved it. But it was like, okay, we did what? What happens at the end of that week?
Yeah.
So at that point, the kids were just left hanging. So if they really liked coding, they didn't really have a means to continue. So I thought about that. I'm like, well, what can you do to
continue that? Yeah.
Yes, to introduce it to them, because a lot of it was the first time it had been introduced to them. But how can we not just be aware and introduce it to them, but give them some resources that they can continue their interest even after the fact?
Yeah.
Again, looking at some of these schools, a lot of the Baltimore City schools didn't have IT programs.
And they don't have the resources for those things. Right.
Them hanging for a bit. So that's actually, and the fact that not around the same time frame, my niece came to visit me, and she told me she was interested in IT, and I'm like, oh goodness, my ears just perked up, and I'm really happy.
You probably did cartwheels, right?
Yeah. So but you know which avenue to take. And I say, here we go. We have somebody that's interested, but she didn't have the resource, which path to take or how to get there. So that's kind of how Taste of Technology started. It was to give you just that, a taste of technology, so that they
which
can
is
be
awesome.
exposed to different careers. They can be exposed to different opportunities. We have different IT professionals that actually come in to teach workshops. So we have the workshops that's coding, how to build a PC, cybersecurity, entrepreneurship, actually even getting started.
Yeah.
So we wanted to give the kids some type of idea of what a career in this particular field and different fields will look like. Because that's the one thing about IT is different paths, right? It's not just behind the screen, just typing away. There's so many different paths to take.
That's true. And people don't even realize that.
The kids that
don't
realize it. The first Taste of Technology I had is in 2019. And the response to that was overwhelming. The biggest question was, well, when is the next one?
Yeah.
So I actually had registration. It's like, okay, we have to shut down registration. I had met my capacity. And so, with the pandemic and everything. So this is now just kind of getting it back started.
Yeah,
again.
getting it, the jump start.
Yes, we are super excited. I'm almost at capacity again. I'm getting ready to shut down.
I registered Breland because she loves technology and she's very knowledgeable. So I'm like, if someone's going to have an event that's for free, or and a young girl can tap in and, as you say, get a taste of technology, I think that's so great. And just to think about the fact that most people don't get that taste of technology to understand that it's really not intimidating. Everyone just sees it like, oh, I can't do this or I can't do that. That's too complicated. But it's like, well, check it out and see, then make your determination, right?
Yes. And then one path may not be for you, but if you look at another path, it may.
Yeah.
So that's why it's different paths, because everybody is not a coder. That's something I never wanted to do, was be a programmer and sit behind a desk and that wasn't for me.
Right. I hire those people and I know I don't want to do it. When I look at the job description, I'm like, oh no, I need something a little more stimulating. That's not going to allow me to chit chat and be social. But for others, their personality, it's a good fit for somebody, right? You just got to find the people to make the match.
Exactly.
Yeah, which is why your program is awesome. And then it's not just for children, it's for all adults. It's for all ages, correct?
It is. It's from, I initially started with kindergarten to college.
Okay.
At the last one, then again, people asking, the adults are asking, well, what about me? What about me?
Yeah.
So this event, it is August 27th. We will have an adult class as well. So, and this class is it's like a break into tech type of class, right? It kind of, if you're thinking about it, gives you a little bit of resources and thought process about getting into tech if it's something that you're interested in doing.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. And then I just want to quickly pull on that thread where you talked about challenges, being in IT and, women not having a seat at the table. Because I think, so many women, to include myself, when you're in corporate America, it's a different landscape in terms of who's at the table, right? And you don't really realize it until you get into those moments of being in meetings and then you walk in and like, oh, I'm the only one. Like, what happened here? Why is this? Right? And then because of that, like you said, you have to look the part, speak well, have credibility in what you're sharing. Some can just say, well, the numbers are this, or the report is this, or just say it. But with us, we need that report to show the metrics, right? Again, about credibility, it's just not easy. And, no shade, no judgment to leaders out there, but for women, it is tougher and we have to show up differently. So can you explain, how you maneuvered through all of that so that, of course you have impact because you made it to the top, right? So, how did you really work that out, in terms of dropping gems to help other women?
So the biggest thing was, and pretty much what we've just really been talking about, is finding what it is that you're good at in that area. Finding what it is and becoming that expert in that area.
Yes, so that builds your confidence. That's so good. Love it.
Credibility, right?
Yes.
So it does help you. So you find out exactly, this is what I like, right? And so I'm going in this area, I'm going to learn whatever I can. And that was a big thing for me too, was I always walked around with a notepad, and I still do.
Me too.
Actually.
Yes.
Person that a pen and paper.
Yes.
And
a cute pen, mind you. And a cute notebook. I'm just saying.
And so I was like that sponge. I wanted to learn, and I looked at this. That's not for me. Okay, I like this. This is where I'm going. This is the route that I'm going to take. And because it felt that it was just for me,
Right.
only mine,
Right.
I excelled. And so, and leadership really became like a part of the way. I think my second position in IT was being a supervisor, and
Okay.
being a true servant leader,
Mhm.
as kind of where
And
my
that's
path
key
kind of
too,
led.
being
And
a servant leader.
yes,
Yes.
yes. And it was always a big goal of mine too, and I really think just helped that a lot too. And then being that servant leader is also pulling people along with me, right? So every time
Yes.
I moved up, other people moved up right along with me.
Yeah. That's wonderful. That's really good. Yeah. Because a lot of people like, well, I arrived, see you guys. It's been great working with you,
Yes. And there was something just like, I'm ready. When you ready, I'm ready. Let's go.
When you move, I'm moving. That's a blessing.
That's very comfortable where they are, right?
Yeah.
And that's fine
Yeah.
too.
Yep. That's true.
I'm gonna do me.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And I think having movement in your career, is so impactful. And, for some, everybody chooses different things, but to your point, each movement gave you more capacity, right?
Yeah.
Because you were able to take on more, but because it was a building process, when you got to the top, it was a smoother transition. Still challenges come at the top, of course, right? But it made it easier because I think it's something to walking through all the steps, because there are just certain details that you pick up because you've been in the trenches, right? Versus you can always tell the people, especially managers, when they come in, whether they really know their stuff or not, because there's just certain levels of details and specifics that you can only speak to in a position unless you've been in it for a minute, right? Yes. And I think so many people want to be like, oh, I want to do this and be at the top. But it's like, no, you really need to take your time and go through the steps and learn it. Like you said, master it. I call it being a SME, a subject matter expert, right? Learn everything you can learn so that when you get to the top, it's more rewarding because you put in the work and you have credibility.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
Exactly. And then nobody wants to follow behind a parked car, right? So you're moving, help other people to expand their capacity and move right along with you, which is amazing and awesome, right? So it's like you have to watch who you connect with, right?
True. That is true.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely placed the right people in my path throughout the years, even putting me in these positions that I have been in. There's been nothing but the grace of God. It's just being there and him putting me in these certain positions that I didn't even ask for. And like, me, really? Okay. There was that level of self-doubt, I will say. It was self-doubt, like, can I really do this?
Yes.
And it's like, look, yes, ma'am, you can. I need you to
yes. Yes. Get yourself together. I'm giving you this opportunity. Now walk it out.
Exactly.
Yes. That's some of the pep talks I give myself. I'm all in the mirror like, okay, April, now get yourself together, girl. You can do this. Yes. Like God, like you said, and it's really God giving you the desires of your heart, because I'm sure mentally you wanted to grow and expand, right? But then when it comes to you, it's like, whoa.
Right. Am I ready?
Yes. And God's like, yes, you are. Right? So thinking about that whole growing and expanding, let's switch gears a little bit, because in addition to having this wonderful career and in moving along in that, God has also blessed you to find a husband. Well, actually, he found you, if we want to be technically correct, right? Putting the word on it. Boaz found you.
Yes, he did.
Yes.
Yes.
Because we want the women to know, like, we don't chase, the men find us, right? And then they find a good thing. Can you get excited? So tell us a little bit about that, because, just following your journey, especially on social media, people can see like, hey, she has an established career. She has a son who's older, and look how God has blessed her to continue to grow with a wonderful relationship. And to me, I call that a holy hookup, right?
Absolutely.
Yes.
So I had to say, I got married at 47 and 46 or 47. And I'm thinking, throughout the years, Lord, when is my time? Lord, when is
right? When you
know,
gonna do it, Lord? Look, I'm sweating, Lord.
Yes. But I will say, and this is one of the things you always hear a lot, was it always comes when you least expect it.
Yes.
It came when I was least expected. I'm at a
wow.
I'm at a book signing. I had, who would have think, if you go to a book signing, you're thinking, number one, it's mostly women.
Yes, that's true.
They are there with their significant other, their spouse, their wife. And so a friend of his grabbed him, and I grabbed a friend of mine, and there we were from Baltimore, both meeting in Philadelphia.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. So, it was one of those, it was meant to be type of situations. It's something that I'm going to until the last minute. And
wow.
Because God's divine intervention right there.
Yeah.
And I was a little skeptical. I was a little skeptical. I thought that, okay, yeah, my first day, this is my husband. Although he told me on my date. He told us on our site.
Oh, wow. Oh, so he knew. Brother man said, you're the one.
Yeah. I said, okay.
And you're like, okay, look, wait a minute.
I'm gonna wait.
Not wait a minute, wait a minute.
But
that's awesome.
Yeah. So it has been a wonderful experience. We had not been apart since. So he has definitely
that's awesome.
My life for the better.
Yes.
And I, getting married at a later age, I think that it helped to understand yourself. And at a later in age, and both of us being
that's good. Yeah, that's a good gem.
Don't want, right? You done been through some changes, and you done been through a whole lot of changes, and you kind of get to say, look, things you might have been not willing to accept in your 20s that you're a little more open to now in your 40s.
Right. Yes, that's true.
Yeah. So I think, getting married later in life really, although it was one of those, Lord, when is going to be my turn?
Right. Is this one it? You're like, no, this one it. Yeah.
Wait a minute, I'm still here.
Right. Still waiting, Lord. How you gonna work this out? But he showed up right on time, right?
Right on time. Yes, he is definitely my soulmate and the man that God has for me, and I am truly blessed and happy.
That's awesome. So that tells you that was the blessing and waiting.
Yes.
And waiting on God, and not making the selection yourself, but allowing God to send you who you needed for such a time as this. Can you get excited?
Yeah.
Woo, make me want to go like, woo.
And it also, all the different things, and this is just in life too, and not just in relationships, but you really realize at that time, like, this is why all of those no's came about, right? Because those other situations, they just weren't for you. So,
exactly.
I thank God for those no's.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Jobs and houses and whatever. I thank God for those no's, because they really brought me into a place of where he needed my yes to be. So
Ooh, that's good. That gives me goosebumps. And women really need to think about that, because I think because the waiting process can sometimes take longer than what you anticipate based on society's measures, right? Because we do, get hooked up on what society says, but really it's about waiting on God and his timing, right? I always tell people, it says weeping may endure for a night, but joy will show up, joy will come in the morning. But the key is that morning may take a minute, right? So you got to walk it out in faith till that joy shows up. It will show up, but it just may take a little bit, right? Exactly. So your joy, your morning has come.
Yes, it is.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's really awesome. So now I'm just going to ask you a few quick questions that I ask every guest. And the first one is, how do you find balance?
Well, let's see. So I have to say that was something that we had to get to know each other for when it came to balance of relationship and home. And pandemic really kind of threw a lot of monkey wrenches into that, because it was good that when I would go into the office, I work from home most of 99% of the time. I'm working from home. Okay. So when I would go into the office, I would have that downtime when I got home. Yeah. I needed that. Can you don't bother me type of stuff.
Yeah. I need a moment time. Yeah.
Even now from working from home, I still need that time.
Yeah.
And it's usually, I'm really trying to work my schedule so that I am shutting down this laptop before 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
That's good. And it depends, it's IT, it's 24/7, but I kind of work the schedule out of where, and I'm always accessible, I have my phone, but to be deliberately, on your laptop and working all day and all night. Now, pandemic, it was a struggle. There was trying to get used to everything.
Yeah, I had the same challenge.
Yeah.
I'm a workaholic, trying to be better.
I'm balancing out a little more now to of the timing, as well as and the other thing, as I say it all the time, is I have excellent staff, and we support. And we know, and they know when I need my time, and I know when they need their time. And so,
that's good. Yeah.
Okay. So, and if things come about, we're all checking, we're all helping each other, we're all supporting each other. So it has been, and that balance has helped out as well. But I know myself, I needed that time to myself when I get home. Then I'm like, okay, hey, baby, I'm good now.
Yeah, right. I'll come out of the room now. We can all talk now. But you do have to protect your time. Yeah. And for some people, it's different. Some don't need it, some do. But at least you have a family who respects the fact that, and a husband specifically, that respects that you need that downtime to regroup, especially when you've been mentally stressed all day.
Yes. And I think
with meetings and, different, whether you're presenting or trying to figure out a problem, you just need that mental break. And then if you go in the office, you got to commute back home, deal with the traffic, and it's a lot, and then you go home, you take that hat of CIO off, right? And you put the wife hat on or mom hat on, and you got to change gears for that, right?
And it's changing gears multiple times throughout the day. So
yes, it's a lot. Yeah. So very good. So my next question would be, in terms of social media and other platforms, who do you follow? What influencer speaks to you, and who do you follow, to inspire yourself, if you will?
So I'd say a lot of that may change depending upon what's happening or what's going on at the time. I have my spiritual followers, and that's I love me some TD Jakes. That's my man.
Yes,
I follow him.
I think he's on everybody's list.
I listen to his sermons all the time. I'm also right now on this budget. I follow Budgetista.
Oh, I do too. Yes.
Yeah, I
She
love her.
presented at one of the Women Thou Art Loose conferences. That's how I found her.
Okay, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yes. And especially hearing her story and how she went paid off all this debt, making $30,000 a year. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta out.
Yes.
So
Yes.
so yeah, following her and it's getting all those budget nuggets and thanking God that my financial path is going in the right direction. And so I kind of keep up with her to make sure it continues to go in the right direction.
Yes, I keep it on. Yeah. Yeah.
Right now, I'm also working on self-improvement. So, and
Okay.
one of the things that I am working towards now is getting ready to start a mastermind with Cheryl Wood. She's a big motivation.
Okay.
And with her, I'm attending her class. And so I follow her.
Is that on LinkedIn?
She's everywhere. She's Facebook.
Okay, I think I follow her on LinkedIn.
Mhm.
Yeah.
She has she's speaking all over the place, and she has her motivation.
Okay.
Attended a conference of hers like a month or so ago, and she's offering some classes. So I'm taking her classes. So I am keeping following with her as well.
Yeah.
As well as Lisa Nichols. She's another motivational speaker, because that's one of the things that I want to move more into is more public speaking and
Okay.
And so
following the ones who are all doing it well. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's another thing I tell people, regardless, if wherever you want to be, you find people that are where you want to be.
Yes. And I believe in that too.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So, and you see what they're doing and how they're doing it and how they got there, and that can help you on your path as well.
Exactly. That's good.
Yeah. So when you
don't have to invent the wheel, right? Why reinvent it, I should say, right? Just get your tips from someone who's already doing it extremely well. Yeah.
Exactly. So
that's awesome.
Definitely, I'm going to say, and continuing, it's one of those things.
Yeah.
And just be gone. No, I need that. I need that continual motivation when it comes.
Yes, I do too.
A lot of different things. I need that continual. And there's a lot of IT groups too that I follow. I follow a lot of IT.
I do too. Yeah. If I may share that, I follow. Women in Tech?
Yes.
Black Women in Tech. I follow all of those groups on LinkedIn. Yes.
Pro Tech. There's a lot of them. Yes. There's so many. There's more that you will actually think. But I guess
it is.
Been in the game for a minute. Even on Facebook. Facebook has an abundance of groups as well.
Yes.
He's in tech, cybersecurity. Then they have women in cybersecurity.
Yes, I follow that one too. Because I'm, hiring. So I'm trying to figure out where the talent hangs out, So that's part of my strategy. Like I can find them in the comments and then say to my recruiter, check out such and such. Let my team know, check out the comments. You'll find the people you need based on their responses. If they give good answers, you want to hook up with them on LinkedIn, send them a request. Otherwise, just keep reading.
Just keep scrolling.
Yeah, keep scrolling.
Yourself hours looking in these groups and different things.
Yeah.
You learn a lot, and you and I use those too. I find people, and I see things that I might can help them with, and so I'll answer, comment on a few.
Oh, that's great.
So
and that expands your network.
Yes, it does. It does. And it also led me to, I also created what I call a DMV Ladies in Tech.
Okay.
I saw so many ladies that were looking in these tech groups that they were looking for local meetups, right? Like they wanted to meet in person. Everybody's doing all the virtual. They wanted to meet in person.
Oh, so wow.
It was probably about 100 females.
Wow.
And so we're all in this group, and we met virtually the earlier part of the year. We actually had a DMV Ladies in Tech brunch.
Very nice.
Last month, a month before last. And so I'm scheduling the next one. So it is that level of that mentoring and supporting.
Yeah, that's really good.
that was one of the big things of just not just women in tech, but women in general, is
Yeah, need that.
finding that support system, finding
Yes.
that group of people that can really help you in your area.
Right.
And it's not people, it's cliche. However, it is what has helped me along the way as well. So actually being
Yeah.
groups and commenting and going back and forth, that's your form of networking as well.
It is. It really is. Yes.
And
Yes.
it helps you move forward. However, it's so much information out there.
It
So
really is. It really is. And to that point, I guess that takes me to my next question of what resources do you recommend? But you've hit some already with the groups that are out there.
absolutely. I definitely, especially looking to get into tech, is they're so plentiful. But
Yeah.
to watch about how often they post. There's
Yeah.
a lot of groups that started and just never kind of went anywhere. So you have to find those kind of active groups that can kind of help you. And then you see so many where they can post questions and
Mhm.
responding, and people will be very helpful and helping you out along the way.
Yep.
Another young lady, there's several young ladies. Her name is Tanika Escu. Tanika, how you spell her name? Teneika. She
Okay.
is on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. I think she's really big on Twitter. And she gives so much information.
Wow.
All this stuff but from scholarships to grants to job opportunities to training,
Wow.
internships to apprenticeships. There's so many different things that she drops, and that has helped people along
Oh,
the way.
wow. Yeah. That's a
Absolutely.
good resource. So people really need to connect with her. And what's her name again?
Tanika,
Tanika.
Tenika Eskew, Askew.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good gem there for people to tap into. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then as we, prepare to close out, can you share again about your event and also how they can get your book since you're an author, so that we can tap into your resources?
Absolutely. Okay, so the Taste of Technology is August 27th. It's in the Mount Calvary AME Family Life Center in
Okay.
and it is a free event. Registration is in Eventbrite, and I don't know if I can put a link somewhere, if you will, of where that event.
Yeah. Okay, I'll add a link. Yes.
Via Eventbrite. I also have a Taste of Technology Facebook group, and that group has all of the information in it as well, as far as the Taste of Technology event. So it equally has that level of information. And I also have a website, kenyatapower.com, is where you can find my books. I am a
very good
selling author, so where you can find those, where you can those books. One is Women Who Leads in Technology, and there are all anthologies, and I'm collaborating author, and
yes,
10 to 11 other women that are in each of the three of the books. The other one is on leadership, stepping into leadership greatness, and the other one is walking in excellence, women of virtue, walking in excellence. So
awesome.
I'm driving my career, getting into IT, and how God helped me get through that entire process. So
yes, look, won't he do it?
Yes, he will.
I know that's right. Well, Kenyatta, I have enjoyed our time on tonight. I know the women picked up so many gems that were dropped on tonight from you regarding your career and, how you're bridging the gap with technology to help other women, all to how, God allowed you to be blessed with a wonderful husband. So I'm sure so many women are blessed on tonight for what has been shared. And again, I appreciate you being my guest. And then I'm also going to post the link for your taste of technology. I'm excited about that because, again, I registered Freeland because she already has an interest in technology. So, I'm going to help cultivate that interest right now. And she's already done some classes through like Microsoft and things like that. So I figured this will be very helpful, especially with coding and all of that. Yeah. So again, thank you so much. And I appreciate you being my guest on tonight.
Oh, welcome. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes. Okay. Take care.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye. Now for the final gem. We just had the opportunity to meet and hear from Kenyatta Powers Rucker. Yes, she's the first African American woman to hold the position of Chief Information Officer with the Maryland Department of Human Services. That's major. Can you get excited? And Kenyatta shared some wonderful gems with us that will bless your life, which include the following, just to highlight a few. She said you need to know what drives you. You need to have an understanding of that so that you can tap into that. And then in that area that drives you, learn all that you can learn. Basically, be a sponge and soak up everything. She also talked about taking others with you. I thought that was a wonderful gem. Yes, as you move up, you should take others with you to help them along the way. So as a team, or as a mentor, you're all advancing together. Can you get excited? She also talked about the importance of having good connections. Yes. Have you checked out your network lately? Who are you hanging around? Who are you tapping into? I find it interesting that leaders tap into other leaders. Yes, there's no need to reinvent the wheel when someone else is already doing an exceptional job of what you have an interest in. So find those people, learn from them, get in the comments as I shared, and hear what people are buzzing about and talking about. All those things will help you advance as you move along. And then finally, she talked about waiting on God. I thought that was really huge. And that's also a challenge for so many people, but yet so important. We have to remember to wait on God. Because Kenyatta waited on God, she was able to find her Boaz. Yes, she was able to find her husband because she decided to allow God to determine who she needed for her. Can you get excited? And then I just want to leave you with this one scripture, which is Philippians 1:6, which reads from the New King James Version, "Be confident of this very thing, that he who has begun a good work in you will complete it until the day of Jesus Christ." So continue to walk out your walk in faith, knowing that God will complete whatever he has started within you. Just keep the faith, knowing that one day you will hit where God wants you to be so that you can be all that he has called you to be in the kingdom. Can you get excited? Well, thank you again for joining me for Precious Gems with April Falcon on tonight. I look forward to seeing you next time. God bless you.
Precious Gems with April Falcon. Be sure to join us on the first and third Thursday of every month for more faith-based business tips. We'd love for you to grow with us. Share this podcast and follow us on Instagram at Just Precious Gems or Facebook at Precious Gems with April Falcon. You can also visit our website at www.justpreciousgems.com.